it's Cheryl. I just wanted to come on and chat with you guys for a little while today because a funny thing happened here in the Mediumship Development Circle group the other day. An article that I had posted a year and a half ago was resurrected because somebody commented on it. And it was an article entitled Social Medium by Jock Brockus in the Other Side Press. And at the time, summer of 2019, I had commented on it, and then I copied and pasted my comments into the group to start a conversation. So this is what was resurrected in the group here now at the end of 2020. So the article was really a scathing critique of online mediumship development. And the author, Jock Brockus, actually used the word sinister twice within the first couple of paragraphs of the article to describe how mediumship has been coming online. And among the things that he said in the article, and it's here in the group, and maybe I'll put a link here in the description so that you can take a look at it and maybe continue the conversation, add your own comments underneath if you like. One of the things he said was that some are meant to be mediums and some are not, which is something that really doesn't resonate with me. If you know me at all, I believe that mediumship is available to everyone, that everybody has what it takes to communicate with spirit. Doesn't mean that everybody has the temperament or the affinity or the desire to be a platform medium in front of thousands of people. But we all have the same ability to connect with spirit. And it's really about desire. And the one thing I will say I do agree with the author about is that it does take time to develop your mediumship. But what he said was that real mediumship is born by spiritual development and harnessing the power of spirit within, not from an app, a camera, or online development group. He also said it was meant to be up close and personal and learning to feel the real power of spirit in that environment. And he's talking about a physical environment. So you know, my own development started in a physical circle. I had been aware of my spirit guides for many years and, you know, doing intuitive work for many years before I said to myself, I wonder if I can learn to be a medium. And I looked online and found a place where I could go to learn mediumship. I went and studied at the Montclair Metaphysical Center with Lee Van Zyl, the South African medium. I sat circle with her for years. And when I moved to Pennsylvania, I started sitting circle in a physical circle at the Spirit Education Center and Sanctuary with Gloria Weikend. And then I started leading a circle here in Pennsylvania down at the local UU physically. 3 years ago, well before COVID, I moved online because, you know, being online has a lot of pros. For one, a lot of us have kids and it's not so easy, especially now in the age of COVID, to get somebody to watch the kids so that we can go to a physical circle. You're limited by distance, you're limited by time, and you're limited by weather. You know, here in the Northeast, we get a lot of snow. A lot of times we've had to cancel a circle because you can't drive in the snow or on the ice or what have you. So, you know, an online circle is less limited like that. Also, you know, here in the States, we don't have a spiritualist church on every corner. I'm lucky enough that I have a wonderful spiritualist church called The Journey Within, and it's led by Janet Nohavik, less than an hour and a half from me. So when it's open, I get to go there and study. And 7 years into my own development, I was fortunate enough to be able to have the means to go to England and do a residential program with Tony Stockwell at the Arthur Findlay College. And that is the highlight of my career as a medium, if you can call it that. It's absolutely the most precious memory that I have, to have been able to spend a week with other fantastic mediums and sit in that energy. However, you have to start somewhere, for one. And for another thing, not everybody is ready to go to Arthur Findlay College and do a residential program. Okay, it took me 7 years before I was ready for that. not everybody has the means to get there right now or the capability. Some of us have family obligations and so on, and you can't necessarily go to a physical circle or a week-long residential program to develop. There have to be other ways of doing it. And the beauty of an online circle is that you can do it from home. You can, put the kids in another room and ask them to be quiet. Doesn't always work for me either. But, it's not only is it convenient, but it provides the opportunity for you to connect with spirit, to work with your guides, and to develop spiritually, so that you can make some progress. And especially in this era where physical circles are not feasible for so many of us, it's a wonderful thing to have available. But going back to this article, what really disturbs me about the idea that you can only develop in a physical circle is that that's a human imposing human limits on spirit. Why would spirit only be able to make their presence known to you if you are physically in a room with other human beings rather than online communicating with other human beings? That's placing human limitations on spirit. And I can tell you that I know for sure, doing the online thing, we've had some magical moments where we're all imagining ourselves meeting in spirit and chatting with our loved ones in spirit together, and we've all been able to bring through evidential details. So again, spirit isn't limited to physical circles. Spirit will meet you where you are. And if you're a mom and it's hard for you to get to a physical circle, or you're limited by COVID, the online circle is a wonderful place to be. The funny thing is with that article that, he had a couple of good points. You do need to use discernment. There are charlatans out there. You got to watch who you work with and so on. Basically, you guys that are pulled to mediumship often have that intuitive capability of seeing what resonates with you and feeling out people. Hi, Jamie. And you need to find a teacher that you can work with, that resonates with you, that you vibe with, in a group of people that you resonate with. And, maybe that's our circle for some of you. Maybe it's not. There are other teachers out there. There are other circles out there. And I encourage my students, as well as everybody else, to study with various teachers, because, you learn something different from everyone. And then you kind of assemble your own mediumship from what you have taken from that wide variety of perspectives. I did like about the article that, he's upholding spiritualism and the traditions of mediumship as something sacred. And there is something to be said for time-honored traditions and for that reverence that we have for working with spirit. And there's a lot of truth in that. I don't believe that mediumship is a quick fix. I think you have to make a commitment to developing your mediumship by practicing over time and have that, heartfelt desire to create a lasting connection with the spirit world. But I don't think that that connection has to happen in an in-person circle. I think that you can learn very well, at least for starters, in an online circle. And the funny thing is that now that article was written in 2019 in the summer, and the comments seem to have been removed. And it's a moot point now because, the spiritualist churches and centers are by and large shut down. And if they did not have the ability to go online and teach their classes online and do their development circles online, they have ground to a halt. So unfortunately, that's not serving anybody. The moral of the story, I believe, is, don't let anybody shame you for doing mediumship in your own way. Because I have to say, a year and a half ago, when I first looked at the article, I had that moment of, oh my God, am I like tarnishing the time-honored traditions of spiritualism by holding my mediumship development circle online? And I quickly decided that no, I sat with it for a moment, as I do, and I felt that, no, I've seen my students' eyes light up when they're able to deliver some piece of evidence that make sense to somebody for the first time. And I've seen people grow their skills as mediums and begin, you know, doing readings. And it's a wonderful thing. I said before, the highlight of my journey as a medium has been going to Arthur Findlay College and studying with Tony Stockwell with 7 other people from the Translating Spirit group. You know, my favorite thing about Tony Stockwell is that he believes that, or he expresses that mediumship in general and our own personal mediumship has to evolve. And I'm a big fan of evolution. As humans and as mediums, we have to be able to be flexible and move with the times. So yes, you know, find out about the history of spiritualism and the traditional way of doing things, but don't be afraid to take a new direction and to try teaching or learning or reading in some new ways. I think these times call for that ability to be flexible, and spirit is certainly flexible. So don't limit spirit with limiting beliefs about how mediumship must be done. The article is here in the group. Please feel free to leave your comments and continue the conversation. And if you'd like to join us in the online circle, we are certainly accepting new members. Look under the announcements for the links and we'd be glad to have you. Nice chatting with you guys. I'll talk to you soon.